Recording in 3, 2, 1. Welcome back to the Beauty Birds podcast, where your birds, Tara and Beka, that's us, talk about makeup, beauty, skincare, and the money matters behind it all. But first, what's on your face today?
You know, not much. I was just saying that I had like a catastrophic makeup failure before getting ready. I had like a whole rainbow eye. We had matching yellow eyes going on. And then I put a glitter topper on top of it, which has like a liquid base, and it completely just dissolved my entire eye look. So I know, I pretty much only have this e.l.f. glitter that I just got in today. It has, I think it's just called turquoise or turquoise twilight, like a liquid glitter that dries down really well. And then an e.l.f. Jelly Pop face gloss.
Do those dry or do they like stay wet?
It stays like wet. This is I put it on my cheeks. This one. And then this one's on my eyes. This one dries.
It's fascinating to me that you like those products when you're the oily skinned one of the two of us, because it sounds like a nightmare to me.
You know, it's a little bit chaotic, but I like the look, so I'll live with it.
All right. I'm here for it. Well, I'm not, but I'm here for you to have it.
What is on your face?
So I kind of fell in love with this really cute Instagram filter that was like sunflower themed, and I sort of tried to recreate it with my makeup today. So I've got bright yellow eyeshadow on. I'm wearing Dose of Colors Pinky Promise for, day 9 of our lipstick challenge, though I think we'll probably be done by the time this goes up, whatever. But I wanted to talk about this beauty. It is the MAC Glow Play Blush in the shade Groovy. It's this kind of, I don't know, more orange coral shade.
Oh, yeah.
Which I want to say I would normally never go for, but I guess that's not true. But when these came out, Julia Adam was just like, oh shit, I love these. And I was like, great, cream blush, I'm here for it. I went and was like, okay, I like this color and this color and this color. And then I went to a MAC counter to swatch them. And my friend was like, no, you should try this one. And I was like, I don't know. And then she was right. I bought it and I freaking love it. I use it all the time. It's fantastic. It's really blendable. You can absolutely build it up like a ton if you want to, but it's not too hard to I guess I have it relatively sheer. But for the warm weather we're having and are going to continue having in Texas for the next 8 to 10 months.
It snowed today.
6 months. It's perfect. Anyway, that's my thing that I'm gushing about today. I'm really happy and I kind of want more of them, even though they're very expensive.
I support that.
And I'm sorry about your snow.
It's almost okay. It's okay because we're leaving. So I'm just like, yes, this is the last snow I hopefully will ever touch.
I'm sure you'll come back for the holidays or something to Jersey.
I was going to say not to Pittsburgh.
You said it with so much angst.
I will never set foot here again.
That's kind of how I feel about Portland.
What are we talking about today, Beka?
Today we're talking about voting with your dollar, which we talk about a lot here. Mm-hmm. But specifically in the context of boycotting brands and brand owners and why any of this matters, and just another extended rant on being an educated consumer.
Yep.
This time from the perspective of, I guess, morals and ethics more than I don't need this product.
Yeah, and celebrating that for once it kind of did work.
Yes, it kind of did work. We're going to talk about why and maybe why it hasn't worked for other brands.
Yeah.
So I, in trying to figure out how we were going to talk about this today, came up with a couple of questions, and I thought we could talk about those. Mm-hmm. But I also texted a few friends and a couple Instagram friends and asked them for their feedback on it, and I got some really interesting answers.
Yeah, let's roll into it.
Okay, so the questions I came up with are there any brands that you used to or currently either refuse to support or choose not to buy from? What kind of things make you want to stop supporting a brand and not buy their products? And is this something that you get vocal about, or you just quietly choose not to support those people and brands?
I think it depends on the brand for how vocal I am.
Yes.
Like, for instance, Jeffree Star, a product of his will never touch my face. And I'm pretty vocal about that when it comes to like friends and family and people like that. But then there's other brands like Jaclyn Hill Cosmetics where I won't buy her products just because I think she's a little too shisty for me. But I'm not going around telling other people not to buy them.
Yeah, I think it depends on what they've done, I guess.
Yeah.
If there's issues of like racism, misogyny,
Yeah.
anti-Semitism, I'm refusing to support them and I'm being really vocal about it. If I
Yeah.
just think that you're a crappy person, like
Yeah.
Jaclyn Hill, I'm just gonna choose not to buy that, but I'm not gonna like go around being like, oh my God, she's the worst, like I do
Yeah.
with Kat Von D.
Too Faced, I kind of go around if people mention it to be like, oh, there's better brands to support. Or like
Yeah.
Tarte, I'm kind of just like, there's better brands with better shade ranges to support. Jeffree Star, I'm just like, I don't know, don't buy from him. Kat Von D though, if I like kind of ever saw anybody post about it, like online or something, I always message them and be like, hey, just so you know, she's a Nazi.
I actually like permanently unfollowed two of my longtime favorite YouTubers and like
Yeah.
influencers because of Jeffree Star and Kat Von D stuff. And one in particular, it was Victoria McGrath, who runs In the Fro, who is kind of like a luxury
Oh
fashion
yeah.
and stuff. I liked her for so many years. And then out of nowhere, totally not her style. Like, she's very much luxury brands.
Yeah.
Starts posting about the Jeffree Star and Shane Dawson collab. And I'm like,
That's really weird.
why? Did you get like so
Catching on.
desperate for followers? Like, your empire is growing. And
Yeah, I don't
I
know about
just,
that one.
and then what was her name? Helen Anderson, who I liked for a really long time. She's, I don't want to say plus size, but she's not like a tiny twig. We're similar in size. She's more, for lack of better terminology, alternative style. Like, it made sense at the beginning that Urban Decay and Kat Von D were brands that she supported. But then
Yeah.
she just like kept using Kat Von D.
Uh,
And then she did an ad, like sponsored
oh,
content, and I was like, okay, I'm out.
she, Kat Von D, before she got ousted from the brand from the band, must have paid beauty gurus so much to promote her because there were people that otherwise would have never done something like that. All of a sudden, promoting her mascara, like Patrick Starr did a Kat Von D ad before she was ousted. I know, it was very bizarre. And I was just like, how much did she pay them for this? Because like that's not something you would do otherwise. And then it also leaves me in a spot where now that she's out and KVD vegan beauty is like okay to use now,
Yeah.
do we follow the beauty gurus that
No.
no
I
gone?
tried with Victoria, I tried with
Yeah.
In the Fro, and then she posted again. And then for Helen,
Doubling down.
like, I don't know. I get some, no, I don't get it. Sometimes I see people be like, well, it's just makeup, like it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
But it does. It does matter. And like,
We showed it,
fine,
it does.
fine, certain things you can let go, I guess. But if somebody is straight up like, no, this person is a Nazi and literally wants me and everyone of my religion to be gone from this earth, you can't just be like, well, the lipstick is great. No.
Yeah, no, I agree with you fully on that one. But yeah, I it depends on the brand for like who I will tell people about the dirty deeds or like who I'll just be
Yeah,
like,
for
eh,
sure. Too Faced Tarte, I usually let it go. Like,
fuck.
there are better companies out there, but they're not, Nazis. They're not, well, racism, maybe,
Eh,
but not quite so blatant.
yeah,
One of my friends who actually did tell me that some of her staples are from Too Faced and Tarte,
that's
um,
fine.
said that the main thing that stops me or discourages me from buying a brand's products is when shitty people founded or currently own the company because I don't want to support them financially.
Yeah.
And, oh wait, or is that from my sister? Did this not update? Anyway, basically she said that if it was, she found out that the brand owners or whoever were terrible and she already owned the products, she wouldn't throw them out, but that she
Yeah.
would look for alternatives when needing to replace them.
Okay.
I think is
Yeah.
probably where I like to think the average makeup consumer is.
That's definitely where I am.
I think
Because
that
like
was my sister that said she didn't want to support them financially, but I hammered that into her brain.
all of the KVD vegan beauty stuff that I had before I knew how terrible she was, I kind of hung on to and just like, because I wasn't going to throw it away because I don't really have like the funds to throw away like $100 worth of product and then just like repurchase it from a different brand. I put it away and then like would use it, but not tell anybody what it was if they asked, or like if anyone asked what it was, I'd give an alternative.
Kat Von D is the one where I did actually throw stuff away, but like it went from there's this questionable thing where she may or may not have said something anti-Semitic to her Jewish boss.
Yeah.
But like some people said it was a prank, some people said it was a fake. Also, she was like the only woman in what was undoubtedly like a really toxic environment of like early 2000s tattoo shop in Miami. Whatever, to literally marrying a man who has a giant swastika tattooed on his throat.
Right.
I even like ignored her dating, what's his name, Jesse James,
Yep.
Nazi freak, but like Sandra Bullock dated him and nobody ever talks about her. I'm like, if she's not a Nazi for dating an idiot, surely, like I hope my ex being an idiot, it doesn't make me things.
Yeah.
But it kind of started, it was like too many things to ignore.
Do it a second time and we start to wonder.
Yeah. Are there brands right now that you refuse to support besides Jeffree Star? Who are you actively choosing not to buy from?
Definitely Jeffree Star is the one that I'm vocal about still.
Yeah.
I don't really like off the top of my head, I can't think of other brands. I'm sure there are a ton, but it's all like low key not support. It's not like educate you about how terrible this person is bad.
Yeah, I don't really buy things from most of the like YouTuber and influencer created brands.
I don't either.
I actively don't buy anything from Chanel because she was literally a Nazi spy. This is kind of a theme for me. If you were bad to Jews, I don't want to give you my money and I don't want anybody associated with you ever. What?
Yeah.
Oh, you said uh-oh.
Yeah, you froze, but you're back.
Sorry. Hopefully the sound didn't cut out. Basically, I was saying if you were ever a Nazi, I'm not going to buy stuff from your brand.
Yeah, that's
kind of my
totally fair. That is like so
just like a weird line on the sand I have. I talked to my friend Stephanie, who is at Squat Rack Shenanigans on Instagram, and I will link her in the blog post. She's a teacher, among other things, like a great athlete, and she's awesome. But I asked her these questions, and I really liked her answer. I'm just going to read it in full, if that's cool.
Yeah.
In all of my purchases in the past 2 years, I've been working on trying to give my money to businesses I support, particularly those opened by women and people of color. So my research and purchasing is more focused on who I want to give my money to and less who I'm avoiding. For me, companies who have good labor practices, such as ColourPop, are a big yes, because the ability of workers to thrive drives many of my purchasing decisions across all areas. This leads me to lean more towards American production companies, not out of a sense of patriotism, but because there are at least minimum workplace safety, age, and wage laws here. Companies like Lush, who have removed palm oil from their products and have a line where a portion of the proceeds go towards preventing deforestation of orangutan habits due to palm oil harvesting, appeal to me.
That is awesome.
I like that approach. Not that I'm not doing those things, not that we're not doing those things, but I do think it's easy to get real caught up in the hype and like negativity of the brands I don't want to support. And I'm really vocal about those things, and instead maybe like should be more vocal about the brands I do choose to support and that I do like Melt and Sugar Pill.
Mm-hmm. And I love Lush. They're always one of my favorites too. And they removed all glitter from their products as well.
Oh,
They use
I didn't know that.
synthetic mica.
I'm slightly in a fight with them in that they started putting SLS into their bath bombs, and
Yeah.
I don't know if I have like a full blown allergy, but it definitely makes me really itchy and like super irritates my skin. But
Yeah.
as a general statement, I do like the brand, and any brand really that's working towards like being more sustainable and
I agree. I
not
really,
racist.
really like that outlook because I feel like we do it but don't realize that we do it, and we do focus a lot on the negative because like we both shop a lot of indie brands, and by shopping indie brands usually we do a lot of research into them and like wouldn't buy from them if like we did some research and saw that it was a Jeffree Star type person.
Yeah. So in terms of the um, focusing on the negative, do you think that we did this? Do you think that we drove Kat Von D out of her brand?
Yeah, for sure. I definitely do. I think sales, like if you saw her products over the past like year or so when everything started to like hit the fan, so much more stuff was going on sale. And just in the beauty community alone, no one was really buying from her. And then like even people who aren't in like a beauty guru kind of world had heard about it. They knew about it. Like my sister-in-law doesn't watch like YouTube videos or anything like that. She kind of follows like one or two people maybe, but I think she saw like a Pop Sugar article or someone else, like someone big picked up the Kat Von D story.
It does kind of kill me that the anti-vax stance, her like militant anti-vax, um, just wild mindset is what made everything kind of happen.
Yeah.
But even I like didn't know much
Hmm.
about her anti-Semitic, like I didn't know there were so many clear instances of it um, before the anti-vax thing came to light.
Yeah, I mean, it just takes one instance of like shitty behavior to unravel an entire person. Look at the Dramageddon stuff that went down last year
Oh
between like
God.
Jeffree Star. Uh did I cut out?
No.
Okay, you froze a little.
Um, was it James Charles and Toddy?
No, that was the second wave of drama. The
Oh
first one,
God.
Laura Lee thing.
Oh
How
right.
I forgot what she even did initially, but
I
then
think it
everyone
was something with a stupid tweet. It's always a stupid tweet.
so it was like a fight between those four people that led someone to looking through Laura Lee's old tweets to find
Oh yeah.
racist tweets from like 2010.
Which kind of leads us into the other thing that we really wanted to talk about is how much of what's happening is sexism at play. Laura
Oh, all of
Lee
it.
went to shit. Jaclyn Hill like can't breathe without somebody saying horrific things about her. Even
Oh
Kat
my
Von
god.
D and like not that these women are blameless, and Joe Deere
Yeah.
as well from Lime Crime. They've all done problematic things, but they just get absolutely massacred
Hammered.
online. Like their careers do get, if not fully destroyed, then like majorly stunted. And yet
Yeah.
Jeffree Star is out here calling Black women animals.
Yeah.
And everybody's like, but he apologized. He's changed so much. No,
Yeah.
he has the fuck not.
Yeah, it's a little ridiculous. And like again, I'm not giving Kat Von D a pass because I think she deserved to be outed from the company and all of what has gone down for her
Mm-hmm.
personally. But like you said, Jaclyn Hill can't do anything without getting torn apart. And I don't think she's blameless either. Like she's done some shady things, but like she posted a video of like her pantry on YouTube, and it was just like it was whatever quarantine pantry tour, you know, like that is
That's really
not
funny.
not a negative video, like no harm done. And it made its way to Reddit, and Reddit tore it apart and was like, there's people that are starving. It's like, okay, but like she can have this pantry. Like there's no need to tear her down for this right now.
This is kind of a stretch in comparison. And like, that's not to say that individual people shouldn't be doing things to help. But
Yeah.
it's like when companies are like, what are you doing to recycle and reduce your carbon footprint? And you're like,
Like,
have
what are
you
you
looked at
doing?
your smokestacks? Like, what the hell are you doing?
Yeah. Oh my God. There's this one thing that like I always see and share that's like, we need to stop putting the onus on the consumer when it's the companies that are feeding us all this bullshit.
Yeah. And like, again, not to say that we shouldn't be doing our part as
Oh, sure.
individuals. I literally have a glass straw right here. Um, yay. But like, it's not us single-handed. Like, me not eating red meat as much is not gonna fix it.
Jaclyn Hill having an entire side of Doritos is not going to help anybody or like hurt anybody. But yeah, they were just like tearing her apart for doing something completely not related to all of the other things that she's ever done. And I get it, like she's done some things, but like let her grow. Like
Yeah.
every time she tries to grow, they just stomp her back down.
And again, that's not to say she hasn't done bad or problematic or outright evil, shady
Yeah.
things, but like, I just feel like even in, I don't want to say cancel culture. I think people being held accountable for their actions is a good thing.
I do too.
But I think that consistently women are getting shit on and men are continuing to do whatever the hell they want,
Yeah.
especially if they're white.
Yeah.
Jeffree Star, James Charles, I don't know who else. I try very hard not to follow white men in beauty.
I don't really follow any of them either. I'm like really trying to think now.
Um, but when I was first getting super into makeup, I was really adamant about not supporting Lyme crime. I don't think I was as
Yeah.
vocal, but I remember even like the sister of an ex-boyfriend from high school who I followed on Instagram posted that she was wearing one of their lipsticks. And I was like, hey, do you know how bad she is? And then I think it must have been on Reddit. Somebody was like, do you even understand like how awful all of these male brand owners
Yeah.
are? Like nobody cared about the super racist Revlon CEO or like Dolce and Gabbana, and Karl Lagerfeld was a scumbag. Nobody
Yeah.
cared. But Doe Deer, who's like small woman-owned, cruelty-free indie brand, the devil.
The thing that kind of frustrated me a lot about all of her scandals, because like, yes, her dressing up as a Nazi, not great,
Yeah,
right?
no, there's no like I can't excuse it.
Yeah. What people were like the most pissed about through all of this was that time that their credit card system got hacked.
I feel like she didn't handle it the right way. I remember like being aware of it happening, but like
Sure.
Target's credit card system got hacked
That
and
was
nobody cared.
that was my exact example. It happened at like the same time. And you know what? Target lets you know 3 months later. And they're like, hey, by the way, cards got hacked, our big bad.
Yeah.
And I don't know. It was just ridiculous that I feel like people didn't quite understand the situation
Yeah.
and were like, Doe Deer personally stole my college fund. And it's like, that's not what happened at all.
Yeah. I think she like lapsed on like a security update or something.
Yeah.
And so their system got hacked. I don't know. I'm not a hacker. I don't really know the science and the numbers behind all of it. But we're just so quick as a society to attack women. And again, that's not to say that there aren't bad women. There are lots of them. We've been talking about them for like half an hour. But like Jeffree Star has something like 16 million followers on Instagram and like over 7.5 million followers on J-Star Cosmetics.
Yeah, people who worship the ground that he works
But like
on.
that's crazy. 7 million people who
Mhm.
follow the brand, not
Yeah,
just the person. Meanwhile, like I
I
I just
know.
can't. I do think that we did this. I do think that people were loud, people stopped shopping, and we, if not directly contributed to, certainly like influenced Kat Von D being what I hope is forcibly removed from her own like namesake company.
Yeah,
But her brand was owned by Kendo, which
yeah,
is the cruelty-free arm of Sephora, owned by LVMH. Whereas like Jeffree Star's independently owned. He owns his
right.
company. I don't think he has a parent company.
I don't think so either. At this point, maybe Morphe. I don't know.
But I don't think Doe Deer had a parent company either. They might now, but she's also not as, I think she's like a board member
She's
now,
a
but
board
not.
member. They sold it to somebody. I don't remember who. It might have. No, it wasn't Estee Lauder. It was. They sold it to someone big.
Who owns Lime Crime?
You know, I feel like I always ask you a question that I should have just Googled, and then and then you Google it right before my very eyes, and I'm like, ah.
10-gram Capital Partners.
Okay, that's not Estee Lauder. I don't know who that is.
Private equity firm. As part of the acquisition, Stacey Panagakis has joined Lime Crime as CEO effective June 18th, 2018, from her role as general manager of New York City-based beauty company Fresh.
Oh.
Cool.
I would also like to say, since 2018, I feel like their stuff hasn't been as cool as it used to be.
I just placed an order today.
I know. I do still like their releases, and they're definitely still my like aesthetic. But they're not.
I think they did go a lot more mainstream.
Yeah.
More accessible, less I don't know. They almost like went a little two-faced.
They did.
But not in a gross way.
Yeah. I don't know, man.
They made it a lot more girly and less edgy, but I feel like it fits really into the, what is it, e-girl?
They made it more like fairy, less grungy.
Yeah.
Right? Like still ethereal, like that's the whole thing, but like more fairy. But yeah, vote with your dollar. We talked about it. I think I mentioned it on the podcast. I'm not sure if I mentioned it when we were recording or not. Boycott, the app.
Oh, I think you mentioned something. It's BUYCOTT.
Yeah, it's a useful tool. I think it's an app or a website where you can look up brands and like kind of see all the reasons that you shouldn't support them.
Yeah, so I'm not super familiar with this. I'm just looking it up right now. It's an app. I have it in the Google store. It says, Boycott helps you use your dollars to create change. Use our barcode scanner to get the unfiltered look at every product in the store.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
But yeah, always do your research when looking at a brand and try to shop indie. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah, I generally buy indie and smaller brands as much as I can. Other things like being cruelty free is, sorry, I'm a jerk. It's not a deal breaker for me, but obviously ideally all companies would be, and like using sustainable resources, not using like palm oil and contributing to deforestation.
Yeah.
But like really the main thing in the forefront of my mind when I'm shopping is I don't want to give my money to people who contribute to the disgusting way that marginalized communities are treated in the United States.
Yeah.
I mean, really everywhere, but like Jeffree Star is front and center in the US.
I don't know if this is like part of a boycott or boycott or if anything that we're doing is helping with Jeffree Star. But because like he does really seem untouchable, but a lot of his stuff nowadays doesn't sell out immediately. Oh, Kylie Jenner, another lady who owns makeup.
Yeah, not a fan of hers, have never bought anything, probably never will. Think it's insane that she was considered what, a self-made millionaire? Was a millionaire billionaire?
Billionaire.
Oh God, that's insane. It was very like my father gave me a small loan of $1 million.
That's one of my favorite things to say.
I honestly feel like Trump and Jeffree Star have so much in common.
Right. That they can literally say anything and a crowd of people who don't think on their own support them still.
Yeah, but even like their attitude and the way they talk about women.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know. I feel like this wasn't that concise. I just wanted to talk about why we choose not to support certain brands and what to look for, and also to keep in mind that like sometimes people are just getting shit on because they're women. And that's not to say that like they're not doing bad things, but a lot of the brands that we're not hearing anything about that are quiet and flying under the radar are just happen to be owned by men who can get away with anything. And we need to do our research and call them out too.
Yeah. Yeah, 100%. And that when we do have these small little victories, like Kat Von D being ousted from Kat Von D Beauty and now it's KVD Vegan Beauty, to then go and support that brand again so that they know they made the right decision.
Yeah, I think that's even like organic and gluten-free and like vegan options and all the things in your grocery store that are now available for like people with various allergies and food restrictions. Like when you buy those things, you're showing the companies and the people who own those stores that that's what we want.
Yeah.
So it's not just about being vocal. Like, yeah, it's great for the bystanders, kind of like we talked about in the MLM episode of like, you're probably not going to change an individual person's mind who's like, yes, I love Jeffree Star. But like the other people seeing your comment might think twice before they buy something from shitty people.
Yeah. Yeah, so it's not just about the boycott, it's also about the buy support. I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, it's kind of like Stephanie said, like, focus your efforts on where to put that money of yours.
Vote with your dollar and vote with your votiness. Don't forget to vote, register to vote. Please, for the love of God, vote.
Yes. And preferably try to get an absentee ballot so you don't have to go vote in person during all this insanity.
Yeah. I saw a comment on the internet today that was like, I will drag my body to the polls and eat a mask filled with COVID if I have to, just to vote.
Oh yeah. Texas makes it really hard to do like absentee voting because they don't want more people to be able to vote, obviously. I will suit the hell up. I will put on a bunny suit if I have to. Like at Nick's job in the fab and stuff, it's basically like in like areas that have to stay really clean. You have to put on this basically like jumpsuit thing. It's called a bunny suit, and where like keeps everything super clean, like so because like dust can't get on the computer parts or whatever. Hold on, let me look it up.
But I'm with you. I will 100% whatever it takes.
Yes, vote in real life. Vote with your dollar.
Support indie brands. Shop local.
This is a bunny suit.
Oh, okay.
There's a picture of me somewhere from a long time ago when I was working in a hospital that I had to be suited up in one to like go do something on the computer. But it was like a full jumpsuit that covered my shoes, and I had gloves, and I had to have a hairnet and like a face mask. Anyway, vote with your dollar. Vote with your votes. Don't support racists, misogynists, Nazis, or other bad people. And also, like, think critically. If you're like, wow, everybody really hates this woman, like, maybe she deserves it, but who else deserves it that you're not hearing about?
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe that wasn't the right advice to give, but
this was kind of a brain dump of an episode. We just want you to shop smart.
Yeah. Reminder that we have a great, if I do say so myself, blog post on educated consumerism on the blog, which we'll link in the post for this episode. And just, we do make a difference. Where we spend our money does speak volumes. And don't, like, if you wouldn't want that individual person to have your money, don't give it to the brand. That's it. That's the tea. Am I too old to say that?
No. Devin doesn't think people actually say that.
That's the tea, Devin. I said it.
I say it. He was like, who says that? I was like, people.
Children. That's all the things. Be smart. Do your research. Follow us on Twitter and Instagram and Facebook. I think basically everything's at Beauty Birds Podcast, or just search Beauty Birds Podcast and you'll find us. beautybirdspodcast.com. And stay safe. Wash your hands. Be good.
Peace out.
See you next week.